Ciao, and welcome to Immersion Travel Italy, where we don't just visit Italy, we experience it. I'm Caterina Ferrara, travel author and festival enthusiast, bringing you insider tips, hidden gems, and unforgettable adventures across Italy. From grand religious processions to lively food sagas, I'll take you beyond the guidebooks to immerse yourself in Italy's richest and most historical traditions. Whether you're planning your next trip or dreaming of La Dolce Vita, join me as we explore the heart and soul of Italy, one festival at a time. Today on Immersion Travel, we are going to talk about Carnivale, the big festival of Carnival in Italy. But we're not going to Venice. We're going to Ronciglione in Lazio. Ronciglione is in the province of Viterbo, about 30 miles north of Rome, so not far at all. And there is a train that will get you there. Now, first we're going to talk about the main sites to visit in this town of 8,000 people. That started with the Etruscans. So even before the Romans, there was a town here in the Chimney Mountains. This town is very proud of its Carnivale and the history back into the 16th century. Some of the main sites that you're going to want to visit in this town include the Duomo of St. Peter and St. Catherine. So the Duomo di San Pietro e Santa Caterina. This Duomo is a great example of Baroque architecture, commissioned in 1671, and it's obviously, as with any Italian town, the center of town. There's a beautiful medieval quarter in this city that you're going to want to visit, so spend time just walking through the narrow streets and enjoying. Also find the Fountain of the Unicorns, the Fontana degli Unicorni. It was a 16th century fountain, again, a beautiful structure in the middle of town. There is also a castle in this town that was built in the 11th century under the Prefetti di Vico family. This castle and stronghold obviously was part of the beginning in the history of this town, allowing it to stand in the Middle Ages on its own 2 feet. Another site in town is the Chiesa di Santa Maria della Provinza. This is a Church of St. Mary. This is an 11th century Romanesque church and definitely worth a visit while you're in town. There's also the beautiful Piazza Principe di Napoli, the Piazza of the Prince of Naples, and a very historic Porta Romana that stands as part of the medieval defenses. Nearby is Lago Vico. Lago di Vico is a lake in the area. So there's lots to see, and you'll find the ultimate festival and travel guide, Rome and Beyond. So look for that on Amazon or wherever you buy your books. That's book 3 in the series. And with that said, I want to talk more about Carnivale, but to do the heavy lifting, I'm going to let Notebook LM have that conversation. And you can listen in about not only the history of the festival of Carnivale in the town, but also the festival treats, the costumes, and a lot of the history. So please enjoy this session of the speakers of Notebook LM, and I will see you in the next episode. Enjoy.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving into one of Italy's most exhilarating festivals.
Yeah.
Carnivale di Ronciglione.
It's a good one.
Now think riderless horses.
Oh, yeah.
Elaborate costumes and a king who meets a fiery end. A whole spectacle.
So, I've heard about carnivals in Venice and Rio.
Sure.
But what makes Ronciglione stand out?
Well, I think one of the most captivating things about this carnival is how it blends centuries-old traditions with this kind of modern sense of revelry.
Right.
It's this really unique window into Italian history and culture,
Yeah.
all wrapped up in this vibrant, joyous celebration.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You've definitely piqued my interest already.
But let's talk about the heart-stopping spectacle that is the Corse dei Barberi.
Oh, yes.
Now, riderless horses galloping through narrow, cobbled streets.
Right.
How does that even work?
Well, imagine this.
Yeah.
These powerful horses, known as Barberi,
Okay.
are meticulously trained and adorned with these colorful plumes.
Oh, wow.
And then they're released to race through the town, guided only by the cheers
Really?
and strategically placed ropes
Wow.
that are held by the townspeople. It's a tradition with roots in ancient Roman chariot races.
Oh, wow.
Living link.
I mean, it sounds dangerous.
It can be, yes.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly exciting to watch.
So are there any safety measures in place?
Yeah, there are.
Or is it just organized chaos?
It's definitely not just chaos.
Hey.
There are some strict protocols in place.
Okay.
For instance, you have these specially constructed barriers
Right.
called staccati that line the course.
Yeah.
And they're made of these thick wooden planks,
Mhm.
reinforced with metal brackets.
Okay.
And that's to help withstand the force
Wow.
of these powerful animals as they're coming through.
So what happens to the winning horse?
Whoa.
Do they get a crown of olive leaves?
Maybe not a crown of olive leaves.
Okay.
But the owner of the winning horse definitely earns bragging rights
Yeah.
and a hefty dose of prestige within the community.
That's pretty cool.
It's a fiercely competitive event
I bet.
with the victors becoming, local heroes.
And we haven't even touched on the romantic side yet.
That's right.
So tell me about this Ride of the Hussars.
Okay, so
A French captain trying to woo a local lady with a cavalry parade sounds straight out of a movie.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And while the historical accuracy of that legend is
Ah.
debatable,
Sure.
the visual spectacle is definitely undeniable.
Yeah.
Imagine a troop of horsemen
Okay.
clad in these dashing 19th century uniforms galloping through the town square.
So cool.
It's a vibrant reminder
Yeah.
of the Napoleonic era.
Okay.
And it adds this really nice touch of old world romance to the festivities.
So tell me about
Okay.
the death of King Carnival closing ceremony.
All right. So the closing ceremony,
Yeah.
it's this really interesting theatrical blend
Okay.
of the macabre and the celebratory.
Mm-hmm.
It's a truly unique spectacle.
Yeah.
It begins with this torchlit procession
Okay.
led by figures representing penitence and death. And it sets a rather eerie tone right from the beginning.
So it's not all confetti and laughter.
Not exactly, no.
Oh, okay.
They even have suricici, or surgeons, adding a touch of the grotesque
Right.
as they pretend to examine the king's ailing body.
Really?
It's this fascinating blend of humor and the macabre.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack already.
Yeah, it
It
is.
sounds like a scene straight out of a Gothic novel.
It kind of is.
It really does, yeah. But after all that mourning and the mock surgeries, what happens to the king?
Well,
I'm guessing he doesn't just get a Band-Aid and sent on his way.
no, you guessed right.
Okay.
The grand finale of this whole thing
All right.
sees King Carnival in the form of this giant papier-mâché effigy ascending into the night sky aboard a hot air balloon. It is quite the exit, yeah.
Okay.
The somber mood shifts really quickly as the
Yeah.
town erupts into this joyous masked wake.
Interesting.
It's a final burst of celebration,
Gotcha.
a chance to kind of let loose one last time before the restrictions of Lent set in.
I see so.
It's quite a contrast,
Yeah.
moving from mourning to revelry
Yeah.
in the blink of an eye.
It sounds like this carnival really embraces these
It's quite
contrasting elements, sacred and the profane,
Right.
historical and the modern,
Yeah.
somber and the celebratory.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating how these seemingly opposite forces coexist so harmoniously.
I think that's what makes Carnivale di Ronciglione so unique,
Uh-huh.
is this living tapestry of Italian culture,
Yeah.
weaving together threads from all these different eras,
Yeah.
traditions.
Right.
And I think it reminds us that life is full of contradictions, and embracing those complexities is what makes it so rich and vibrant.
Absolutely. Speaking of rich and vibrant,
Oh, here we go.
let's shift gears
Okay.
and talk about the culinary side of this celebration.
Right.
You mentioned earlier that food plays a big role.
Oh, absolutely. Carnivale di Ronciglione
Yeah.
is a feast for the palate
Okay.
as much as it is for the eyes.
Right.
Think hearty traditional dishes like polenta with savory toppings,
Mm-hmm.
rich bean stews, perfect for a chilly evening,
Yeah.
and even classic Roman tripe for the adventurous eaters out there.
Wow. Okay.
There's dishes that have been enjoyed for generations,
Mhm.
passed down through families and communities, connecting people to their culinary heritage.
It's like each bite tells a story.
Yeah, it really is.
But what about those of us with a sweet tooth?
Well,
Are there any special treats
oh, of course.
unique to the carnival?
You'll find fritters,
Oh.
both sweet and savory,
Mhm.
fried to crispy perfection,
Okay.
dusted with sugar or sprinkled with herbs.
Hey.
And then there are these really intriguing freñas,
Yeah. Freñas.
which are kind of like pancakes,
Okay.
but with a twist.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
They're made with this surprising combination of sugar, cheese, and cinnamon.
No, that's a flavor combination.
Sure.
I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
Okay.
We can't forget the tradition of Pitalata Monday.
Ah, yes. Pita Latte Monday.
Mhm.
The macaroni served in chamber pots.
Yes, that's the one.
Definitely not something you see every day.
Not really, no.
So,
Well, it might seem strange at first,
right.
but the tradition actually has its roots in practicality.
Okay, so
In the past, chamber pots were readily available,
uh-huh.
and their shape actually helped keep the pasta warm
Really?
during the festivities.
Interesting.
So today, it's more of a lighthearted nod
Okay.
to the carnival's rebellious spirit.
Yeah.
Way to kind of embrace the absurd
Yeah.
and poke fun at convention a little bit.
So it's a tradition that's evolved over time.
Exactly.
From practical to playful.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how these customs adapt
Yeah.
and endure,
Yeah.
reflecting the changing values and spirit of a community.
I think that's what makes exploring these traditions so fascinating.
Right.
They offer a glimpse into the cultural evolution of a place,
Mhm.
showing us how people have celebrated,
Yeah.
mourned,
Yeah.
and connected with each other throughout history.
You've painted such a vivid picture of this carnival,
There you go.
from the thrilling horse races to the somber processions
Yeah.
and the surprising culinary delights.
It's quite the event.
It sounds like an experience
Yeah,
that
yeah.
truly engages all the senses.
It does.
But for someone experiencing Carnivale di Ronciglione for the first time,
Right.
what would you say is the one thing
Oh,
they absolutely cannot miss?
that's a tough one.
Yeah,
There's so much to see and do.
I know.
But if I had to choose,
All right.
I would say immerse yourself in the Corso di Galla.
The grand parade with all the elaborate costumes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Imagine being surrounded by this sea of color and creativity, with each costume kind of telling its own story.
Wow.
You might see historical figures,
Yeah.
mythological creatures,
Right.
characters from local folklore,
Mm-hmm.
even satirical commentary on current events.
Interesting.
It's this true spectacle of imagination and artistry.
It sounds like a visual feast.
It is.
And it must be incredible to see all the effort and detail that goes into each costume.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all handmade, right?
Yes, many of them are family heirlooms,
Wow.
passed down through generations.
Okay.
Or meticulously crafted by local artisans.
Really is.
They're not just costumes, they're works of art,
Yeah.
expressions of personal and collective identity.
It's amazing to think about all the stories behind each mask and each elaborate gown.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the entire town becomes this living, breathing stage.
Exactly. And that's what makes Carnivale di Ronciglione so special.
Yeah.
It's this celebration of creativity, community,
Right.
and the enduring power of tradition.
It's a reminder that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I have a question for you, our listener. If you could be at that parade,
Uh-huh.
the Corso di Galla,
Yeah.
surrounded by all those amazing costumes, what would your costume be?
Oh,
What story would it tell?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
It really does make you think about
Mhm.
how we express ourselves
Right.
and the stories we want to share with the world. And that's the beauty of this whole thing
It is.
of Carnivale di Ronciglione.
Yeah.
It's a celebration of individuality
Mhm.
and creative expression
Right.
where everyone's invited to participate
Yeah.
and share their unique vision.
So if you're listening,
Yeah.
let your imagination run wild.
Let it go.
Picture yourself in the heart of this vibrant festival, surrounded by music, laughter, and the energy of a community coming together to celebrate.
It's powerful.
What kind of costume would you wear?
Yeah. What would you wear?
What would allow you to become a part of that magical tapestry?
Who knows? Maybe one day you'll find yourself in Ronciglione,
Yeah.
experiencing the magic of Carnivale firsthand.
And if you do, be
Yeah.
sure to send us a picture of your amazing costume.
We'd love to see it.
We would.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it.
There it is.
Carnivale di Ronciglione.
Mm-hmm.
A whirlwind of history,
Yeah.
spectacle,
Ah.
culinary delights,
Right.
and pure, unadulterated fun.
Absolutely.
This is a festival
It is.
that truly has something for everyone.
I think it's a celebration that reminds us to embrace
Yeah.
the joy of life,
Mhm.
the power of community,
Right.
and the enduring spirit of tradition.
Yeah. And maybe it'll inspire you
Mm-hmm.
to tap into your own creativity
Right.
and add your unique voice to the grand tapestry of human celebration.
There you go.
Well, that's all for this deep dive.
All right.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep celebrating, and
Yeah.
keep those imaginations firing.
Keep them going.
We'll see you back here soon for another fascinating journey.
Sounds good.